Hello, justtwogood here with an early review of the LEGO Minifigures Looney Tunes series. Now, these apparently released May 1st, but are already showing up in some stores across the United States. These were sent to me early by Mythic Bricks, so go check them out. Now, these should retail for $5 a pack, with a total of 12 minifigures to collect in these mystery bags. Of course, we'll start off with Bugs Bunny, which the design is so iconic for this character, but this is the first time we're getting him in any LEGO form. Every character in this series, aside from Marvin the Martian, uses a new specialized headpiece unique to that character. This is pretty perfect in the minifigure design. I love the facial expression. I love the ears at the top, all this being a hard plastic and not rubbery. Nice printing on the torso and even the back of the torso with the little tail there. And you got some printing with the feet at the front. The only part I don't like about the figure is that the accessory is just a carrot. When Daffy Duck has rabbit season as a sign, they should have gave Bugs Bunny a duck season sign. It's a missed opportunity, but not a big deal. And well, let's take a better look at Daffy Duck as our next figure. This design, again, using a unique headpiece, which even has that white stripe at the neck. I love that this is all one piece, and it's just really, really well made. You can see how it attaches to the head right here. The printing is great at the front, which is just a little tuft of hair. That's all you need for Daffy Duck. And I like that they don't have any elaborate printing for the legs, because all you need is a dual mold of the orange bottom and the black top. What's really cool is that we also get the tail piece used for Donald Duck from the Disney series, but in black. That is really cool. And then for his accessory, as I said earlier, it's the rabbit season sign, which that is a printed clipped piece. You can see how it clips onto the pole right there. And the biggest missed opportunity between these two is that there's no Elmer Fudd in this series. It seems like LEGO has a problem making him, maybe because he uses guns. Yes, there's a LEGO Lola Bunny minifigure, which the overall design for this looks fantastic in my opinion, aside from one thing, which is the face printing. The face printing for Lola here is a little weird. I don't know, being forced to have that open mouth design, I kind of wish there was like a smile or just a regular closed mouth. It works much better with Bugs Bunny, but for her, it looks a little off. But either way, the design of the torso and legs is actually not from Space Jam 2. I thought the overall outfit was from Space Jam 2, since this is releasing to coincide with the release of Space Jam 2 in the summer. But no, this is kind of an original design where they took recent clip art of the colors of the pants and the torso and then made it a sporty look. I love that design. Like, I love the dual molded legs there, which have that nice sneaker and also pants and some nice outlines there and everything. That's a dual molded leg design, and there's some printing at the side, printing at the front and everything. And then for the torso print, we do have some printing at the back with the little tail there. The head design looks pretty elaborate, and I like the different colors there and everything like that. I like how there's the ponytail as well. One of the cooler head pieces in this series for just how elaborate it is and colors and everything. One thing is, I like the idea of giving her a basketball as an accessory. We have existing LEGO basketballs, but they're spear pieces. This one is a spear that a minifigure can hold, which is really cool, but it doesn't have any printing, so it just looks like an orange ball. I kind of wish they had some basketball-like printing there, because that would have been really useful for some LEGO City minifigures. But at the end of the day, it's not too big of a deal. Next figure is Speedy Gonzales, which the design of this might be one of my favorites with the Tasmanian Devil. I just love how this came out as a LEGO minifigure with lots of great pieces. We have this new mouse tail piece, which attaches at the hip like a Rocket Raccoon tail and other tails from this series even. I love the design of that, and that could be useful for some customs. And then the headpiece is very elaborate, like the Lola Bunny one, where we have all these different colors and a very huge head mold. I mean, I am a sucker for just goofy head molds in general. And you can see that there's a sombrero at the top. We have that base, which has the nice printing at the front for his face. That looks great. And then the torso print is simple but effective. But my favorite of the regular standard minifigure parts is the short legs, where we get short legs with dual molding here, and there's a nice color split between his fur color and then also his pants color. And then there's some printing at the front with the little feet right there. Very elaborate. And then the best part, if you don't even care about Looney Tunes, is that we actually get cheese slopes. In the LEGO community, we call these pieces cheese slopes, but never have we gotten them with the little cheese holes printed in. That's fantastic, and you get a total of 4, 3, and then 1 extra with this minifigure. That freaking rocks. Next up is Tweety Bird, and compare the size of Tweety Bird to Sylvester, and you'll see there's kind of a big height difference there that makes this really inaccurate. I don't mind personally because I like getting a minifigure as opposed to, as some people suggested, maybe getting a baby figure like Baby Groot or like Jack from The Incredibles. I think this is fine. It's just going to be a little bit inconsistent in size. Now, Tweety Bird does have a huge mallet, which this design is actually really cool because it's just a very simple but Lego-like design. They didn't have to make any new pieces there. I mean, the only new piece altogether, as some people call it, mold, is the specialized headpiece for Tweety Bird, which is pretty interesting how that connects, where it's not just a straight neck connection, rather there's a little bit of those little dividers there and everything that just goes over the torso. I love how they did the little beak right there, and the eye design is just adorable. You got brief printing on the torso and the legs, but that is it for the Tweety Bird minifigure. Oh wait, there's actually some back torso printing. How could I forget? For Sylvester the Cat, the design uses a new headpiece, which that is a pretty elaborate one, and I think that comes out very well, just like the other cartoony headpieces, but I am a sucker for specialized headpieces. We do have a tail piece that was actually first introduced with Scratchy from the Simpsons series, but this design has a little bit of printing at the end, and it has a black base, which is pretty cool and unique to this minifigure. You have the dual molded legs, which I like the little side leg printing, and the little feet designs at the front. You got some tuft of fur at the front as well. And then this bat right here as an accessory, probably to beat Tweety Bird with. Next minifigure is the Tasmanian Devil. The reason this isn't attached to the traditional minifigure stand I show the minifigures on is because, well, he has his own spinning stand. But more importantly, at the bottom, there's a bumper attached. This disc piece is not new, it was used with Frozone, but this print is exclusive to this figure. But when you have the bumper at the bottom, you could give the Tasmanian Devil a pretty nice spin. That's just a play feature in itself, but don't push it too hard because he usually just falls over. So you just gotta go kind of gentle like that. But anyways, with that disc removed, let's take a better look at the minifigure. He has 2 accessories, which are actually not unique or anything like that. The pie hasn't appeared in too many sets since 2018 though, so that's kind of cool. And then we have that chicken leg there. Anyways, I love the face print here and just the face piece in general, where we have this whole head that just goes over the LEGO minifigure torso. It's a bit tough to take off without removing that torso, but you can kind of see how that works. Just sliding right there. And that mouth is just so cartoony and detailed, and there's no flaw in the printing. I really love how that came out. There's lots of nice shaping at the back with just the fur all around. And then he has this tail piece, which is also used for Wile E Coyote in the same series in that color. It's also the one that I believe back in the day they introduced with Rocket Raccoon. Other than that, not too much else to show with the minifigure. He uses mid-legs, and there's some printing at the bottom of the mid-legs. Next, we have Marvin the Martian, which also uses mid-legs like Taz. Love the printing on the bottom of the mid-legs. I also love getting this ray gun in a lime green, but my favorite parts are the face print, which again, this is the only minifigure in the series that just uses a regular minifigure head, and this new helmet piece, which doesn't use a separate piece for this top part like some similar existing designs, and you can see how it's actually a dual molded design with the yellow there. Love the green they use, and it's a hard plastic. Perfect for the character. There's also a cloth attachment at the hips there, and no back torso printing for this minifigure. I know a lot of people wanted Marvin the Martian, and it seems like he's going to be one of the harder ones to get of the series just because he'll be one of the more desirable ones. And then we have the Roadrunner minifigure, which a lot of people were saying that this is one of the worst interpretations of the series. I will show you that maybe on the packaging and leaks it didn't look perfect, but I think this looks really good in person for what they had of a different bodied character that's not exactly, I guess, more humanoid than the others. I don't know, it would just be hard to interpret in minifigure form, and I think they did a pretty good job. The overall design here has a couple of new pieces. There's actually 3 entirely new pieces just for the Roadrunner, whether it be the tail that attaches at the hips, this being kind of a rubbery design. the plume at the top, which is a hard plastic that just connects to the headpiece, which once removed, that looks like a really good piece to use for some custom ducks. And then the headpiece itself, which is a hard plastic. We have some bird wings at the side, which you can move up and down. Getting it in the blue color is new. They've used it in different colors, whether it be for the original chicken suit guy or Big Bird from the new Sesame Street. You have some leg printing at the bottom right there. Very brief though. And then the accessory is some bird seed, which is connected via a stud at the bottom. You also get the ice cream top piece in a yellow, and you get the bowl in a nice sand green. As for Wile E Coyote, this design has an elaborate headpiece that I just really love. That snout is just so crazy, and it's a big chunky headpiece. Then we do have some nice torso printing and some brief leg printing, well, really at the feet there. Love the build for the anvil, which doesn't use any new pieces, kind of like Tweety's mallet, but just works so well and is a pretty unique LEGO design. And then at the back, as I said earlier, that's the same tail piece that the Tasmanian Devil uses. Not too much else to show with Wile E Coyote, but one of the best interpretations of characters in this series. One of the most odd choices of the series is Petunia Pig. I figure they wanted to get more girls in the series, which totally makes sense. I mean, they want to have an equal gender balance in these LEGO minifigure series, but there's no Yosemite Sam, there's no Elmer Fudd, there's no Foghorn Leghorn or Pepe Le Pew, so there are some key characters missing that probably should have been included over her. But at the end of the day, I really like this minifigure. Like, this is a surprisingly great minifigure. The design of that headpiece is very elaborate. Again, I'm a sucker for ridiculous specialized headpieces, and this is all just one piece with the bows there, with the hair molded on, and then with the piggy head at the front. And you can see how that connects to the minifigure with a lot of space at the neck there. And all in all, Petunia Pig has a very nice kind of 50s, 40s, or even 30s aesthetic. Now, this isn't her exact design from back in the day, but I just love how classic that outfit looks. Like, it looks really old. I like the torso collar at the front. I also like getting that skirt piece in a plain red. And with the skirt removed, you can get a look at the mid-legs printing, which has some bloomer designs. And at the very bottom, we have those little toes or the hooves of the pig. That's some nice printing as well. These aren't dual molded mid-legs because I don't think they have dual molded mid-legs yet. But finally, the only thing I don't like about this minifigure, aside from it being kind of an odd inclusion over some key characters, is accessories. Very boring accessory set here with just a teapot and a tea saucer, which has come with some other LEGO minifigures before, and that teapot's fairly common. I don't know, I wish there was something a little bit more interesting, but it's not too big of a deal. And finally, we have Petunia's boyfriend, Porky Pig. Now, this is a super iconic character, which has a similar elaborate head design. I just love the shaping on Porky Pig here, and also the back torso printing with the little piggy tail showing. And the sign here is a fantastic build with a specific 2x4 print that says, "That's all, folks." Perfect for the final figure that we're going to take a look at. You can see how this sign is built too, where it uses just some simple existing pieces, and of course a 2x4 tile with that printing right there. Finally, with the minifigure himself, I like the design of the torso there, as well as the mid legs with the little hooves. That's the same as Petunia's, except there's no bloomers. The box uses that new, I believe, 36 pack box, which, dang, I hope that they have 3 of each minifigure in this breakdown, but who knows for sure. You can see some very nice printing all around, which I like how they incorporated some cartoony sound effects and cartoony designs, and even some of the minifigure designs as silhouettes there. It's a really lovely looking box, and at the top, you can see how you open this just by lifting this up and then folding the back up like this for the display. The bags continue that lovely box design with all the silhouettes and everything like that. And I really like the minifigure checklist here, where we also have a continuation of that background design. And at the very back, you even have the classic logo with Bugs Bunny in the left here. So overall, before I start praising this series, let me admit my biases. I love classic animation. I love seeing animation in LEGO form when it comes to licenses. I love cartoony things, and I love specialized minifigure heads. So this series is perfect for me. Now, as a series for any LEGO fan, I still think it's a very good series worth the money. At $5 a pack, this is actually worth it, where each figure has quality put into them. With the minifigure headpieces, there's no drop in quality. I remember like a few years ago, we would get printing with black on regular minifigure heads and it would just look crappy. None of that crap is here. Instead, it all looks very high quality in its prints. And also, there's some fantastic pieces if you don't give a crap about Looney Tunes. I think each of these figures has a print for somebody who doesn't care about Looney Tunes. But if you do care about Looney Tunes, it's amazing to see these characters in minifigure form and how well they did it. And also, if you just like interesting LEGO pieces, you have stuff like the cheese slopes. You have various mid-legs and dual molded legs that look fantastic in printing. Lots of nice torso prints and everything that are outside maybe from the norm, but can be used in different settings, and I really like that. I love the execution here, and my only flaws would be some minor nitpicks with some designs, whether it be Lola Bunny's face looking a little bit off with that weird smile, and then the inclusion or lack of inclusion for some key characters like Foghorn Leghorn, Pepe Le Pew, Elmer Fudd, and Yosemite Sam. And for 3 of those, we could put some good reasons. Okay, Pepe Le Pew had controversy, and then we had Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd using guns, which doesn't really make sense in LEGO standards, but for some reason they're like super against that. But in Star Wars, you could have blasters and stormtroopers and everything. It's so contradictory, but whatever. And then Foghorn Leghorn, I guess, just isn't popular enough. And then they had to balance out the girls to boys at least a little bit. I mean, they tried. They have Lola Bunny and Petunia, so I get why they cut those characters. But man, it would have been really nice to get a LEGO Elmer Fudd. Like, that's the one that I really, really wanted. And they could have probably found a way around it. Maybe have him hold the duck season that Bugs Bunny is missing, which actually is another flaw of the series. I wish they gave the duck season sign for Bugs Bunny, but it's not too big of a deal. Either way, with all things considered, I freaking love this series. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite LEGO minifigure series ever, and one of my favorites in a while. That's all I have to say in this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys agree with my take on this series, which one is your favorite character, and who you wish they would have included. I'll see you guys later. Subscribe for more LEGO minifigure content. Peace out. Or that's all, folks.